All right, Bears News Fan Report Squad, listen up, smash that like button and subscribe right now, because you won't want to miss a single twist in this developing saga. The headlines are buzzing, the rumors are swirling, and one question looms, larger than Soldier Field on game day. Could the Chicago Bears be about to part ways with a young edge rusher who was supposed to blossom into their next defensive superstar? Picture this. A player who entered the league with high expectations, a promising developmental prospect handpicked to grow into a bookend opposite Montez Sweat. Yet, as the offseason rolls on, whispers have emerged from inside Hollis Hall suggesting that this rising talent's future in navy and orange may be hanging by the thinnest of threads. Could this be the moment that changes everything for the Bears' defense, tipping the scales in a direction few expected? We all remember how it began. A second-round pick, or in some analysts' eyes, a steal, arrived with a reputation for raw athleticism and an uncanny work ethic. Fast forward to last season's tape review, though, and the story wasn't quite as clean. With just 1.5 sacks and a middling pass rush grade hovering around the low 50s, the rookie campaign left more questions than answers. Yet, fans were told not to panic. Scouts insisted that true breakout seasons can take 2 or even 3 years to materialize. So when spring drills wrapped and our young hopeful stepped through the doorway of the off-season program, hope remained intact. But now, insiders have started to murmur about a dramatic shift in the Bears' off-season blueprint. Could it be that this player's developmental timetable no longer aligns with the front office's win-now mentality? Imagine Ryan Poles staring down the barrel of next year's schedule, weighing the immediate need for an elite pass rush against the patience required for a project player to truly peak. Some believe that the Bears brass has grown impatient, and a surprising roster cut could be imminent. It's here where we introduce the name on everyone's lips, but not quite yet. First, consider the stakes. A Bears defense that surrendered. The most sacks in the league last year can't afford to wait on slow-burn prospects. With Caleb Williams under center and a revamped offensive scheme on the horizon, protecting the quarterback has become mission number 1. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, Jim Harbaugh's unit needs splash plays, quick quarterbacks, linebackers flying off the edge, momentum-shifting turnovers. If our mystery rusher can't deliver immediate impact, could the Bears decide that his roster spot is simply too valuable to waste? Let's rewind to January's playoff exit, where under the bright lights our guy found himself outmatched against elite competition. While teammates battled toe-to-toe with AFC powerhouses, he struggled to win even a handful of snaps. Was it a matter of technique, lack of strength, or simply a youth still waiting to mature? That question has fueled heated debates in virtual locker rooms and living rooms across Chicago. Some die-hard fans are adamant, give the kid more time. Others warn, the NFL is a business, and Rams and Eagles won't wait for rookies to learn on the job. Now, let's layer in some cold, hard numbers. A pressure rate under 5% on pass rush snaps isn't going to cut it when you're up against the league's elite blockers. Meanwhile, Montez Sweat's unmatched power has only spotlighted a glaring void opposite him. Could this be why the Bears have quietly ramped up conversations with veteran free agents and made calls to rival teams about potential trade packages? Could it be that this young rusher, once heralded as the future cornerstone, now finds himself on the chopping block? And then there are the rumors. Oh, the rumors. Word is that the coaching staff has been testing alternative rotations in minicamp, giving snaps to undrafted free agents and lesser-known journeymen. Is this merely a case of exploring depth, or is it a precursor to dropping a bombshell roster move? Fans are wondering if the reveal will come just before training camp, catching everyone off guard and shifting the entire defensive equation. Imagine the headlines: Bears release rising prospect. A narrative twist that would send shockwaves through the NFC North. But let's not forget what we stand to lose if this move actually happens. We're talking about a player with undeniable physical gifts, and a relentless motor, traits that NFL defensive coordinators crave. Could Chicago be tossing away untapped potential for the sake of short-term gain? Or is this a bold declaration that the Bears are no longer willing to gamble on long-term development and instead are doubling down on proven commodities? Now, at long last, let's put a name to this spotlight: Austin Booker. Yes, the very same edge rusher who teased us with glimpses of brilliance at Purdue and earned a place on the depth chart last fall. Could the Bears really walk away from the investment they made in round 2? Could they cut ties with Booker before he even gets a chance to prove he belongs? The thought alone sends chills down the spine of Chicago's fan base. Yet the whispers grow louder by the day. With all this swirling uncertainty, one thing is clear: we're on the edge of a decision that could redefine the Bears' defensive identity. Stay tuned, because when we return, we'll break down the potential cap implications, explore alternative targets the Bears might pursue, and ask the crucial question: is this release a strategic masterstroke or a catastrophic miscalculation? If you're still with us, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report so you never miss a single update. Let's dive into what happens next. Now that we've unmasked Austin Booker's situation, it's time to examine the fallout of such a seismic roster move. First up, cap space implications. By releasing Booker before June 1st, the Bears could clear roughly $2 million in dead cap charges, freeing room to chase a proven veteran edge rusher or bolster depth elsewhere. Should they cut him after June 1st, that dead cap number jumps to about $4.5 million against next year's cap, making it a heavier financial blow. Could Chicago view this as a small price to pay for roster flexibility, or are they risking long-term headaches by eating dead money on a player who still hasn't had his true chance to shine? Let's say the Bears choose to part ways with Booker. Where might they redirect those funds? The free agent market currently features players like Hassan Reddick and Danielle Hunter, both veteran pass rushers who could come cheaply on one-year prove-it deals. Reddick led the Cardinals with 15 sacks in 2023, while Hunter recorded double-digit sacks for the Vikings in 2022 before an injury-shortened last season. Could Poles turn that Booker money into an immediate impact signing and pair him alongside Montez Sweat to form the league's most fearsome duo? That scenario would send a message. The Bears aren't afraid to prioritize veteran production over developmental projects. Switching gears to draft strategy. If Booker is cut, Chicago holds the 21st overall pick in April's draft. How might their board shift? With edge rushers flying off the board early, it's risky to wait for one to fall. But if they know they'll chase a veteran in free agency, they could pivot to other pressing needs, like a difference-making linebacker, an offensive tackle to protect Caleb Williams, or perhaps even a dynamic receiving weapon to stretch the field. Fans are speculating. Will Poles roll the dice on the next breakout star, or will he stand pat and trust his current personnel? Before you decide which scenario makes the most sense, let's not forget the emotional angle. Cutting ties with a second-round pick before he's had 2 full seasons can be demoralizing for the locker room. It sends a message that development time is limited, that performance must be immediate. Could that mentality spur other young players to elevate their game, or might it sow doubt and anxiety among promising prospects? Team chemistry is an intangible asset, and a move like this could have ripple effects beyond the stat sheet. As the Bears ramp up for training camp, all eyes will be on how they redistribute those snaps and dollars. Will they bring in a veteran presence to hasten defensive turnaround? Maybe they'll unearth the next hidden gem from the tryout list. Or perhaps they'll find a creative cap structure that lets them have their cake and eat it too, retaining Booker in some capacity while still chasing bigger fish on the open market. Every path has its risks and rewards. So, here's the bottom line. If the Bears do release Austin Booker, it will mark a decisive shift in their organizational philosophy, from nurturing prospects to demanding immediate contributions. It could be viewed as a masterstroke in roster management or a cautionary tale about short-term thinking. Time and next season's performance will reveal which it is. But what do you think? Was parting ways with Booker a bold, strategic move that accelerates Chicago's push for contention, or a premature decision that sacrifices long-term upside for a quick fix? Personally, I'm torn. I admire Poles' willingness to make tough calls, but I can't help rooting for Booker to get his shot and prove the doubters wrong. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read your take. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring that notification bell so you're front and center for our next deep dive. Until then, keep the faith, and go Bears!